So I had to take a second to take a breather because I got a chance to see a neighbor. That human being is the definition of just human shit. Honestly, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful. Uh, you know, things are a little quiet here because these people, they're involved in a program that's so nasty. So nasty. They know what they do, and this neighbor, her job is, and the reason why she was starting to make noise campaign is because what you're gonna hear, but they want to box in these ways of thinking. They think that if they talk loud, if they start saying whatever they ask to say, I should subscribe to it. Now, why do I make videos? My first video was in summer of 2020, and it's to show the exact manipulation that they've been doing to me. And of course, the manipulation due to me is not only done to me. So when you hear a neighbor like that, a trash, who think that I ever look at her and believe, not even believe, but I will even let her live that fantasy. A grown fucking woman with children who think that somehow I'm gonna dismiss who I know I am. I'm gonna dismiss the testimonials that show the obvious manipulations, but because she's getting some kind of incentives, I'm gonna let her escape in that fantasy. And on top of that, I know what they do to children. I know that this program that she in have pushed people to kill a lot of people, and this trash think I'm gonna let her escape. They do this manipulation, and they are trying to gaslight you to accept these things. And this trash know what they sold their soul to. I truly rather have died outside. I would prefer dying outside by myself, lonely, than having to have lived the life this woman I've watched her go into her apartment do. Like what she has done in her life. There's no torture that's gonna change that. She saw me being cut in pieces. Okay, I'd rather get cut in pieces than having to be doing what she does. They know what they're part of. They think if they act accordingly, I'm gonna be, oh my gosh, it's me. And it's just a lot of anger that I'm trying to maintain because I see them for what they are. Forget about just what they're doing to my body. That alone can push somebody to do some harm. I see this woman try to calmly open the door and try to be like a regular, normal woman. It's like, you're trash. What do you think there's so many pedophiles in this agency if you had to use your grown woman brain? If they knew. If you guys are, why is there so many women being tortured and children? You fucking trash. I will never let you live your fantasy. I know what you guys are, and I'll die knowing that. When I scream, when I die, trust me, I'm not gonna say, oh my gosh, they proved it. They did the pedophilia things they've done to others, and you're gonna hear that. So in my last video, I was talking about how, like, when I was in the other apartment, it was not actually an apartment, it was a place where there's rooms and you can rent a room. And I remember going into this person's Instagram. You see this woman. This woman is extremely beautiful. She is very she's a good looking woman. And she's a personality and influencer in Brazil. She does music, right? You see how she looks, very easy to look at, and I don't need to speak too much. There's the picture here. She's an influencer, a musician, a DJ, or something like that in Brazil. And so I'm going through her Instagram. And when I go on her Instagram, I see a kid, actually two kids, one girl who's like 12 years old, and I talked about it in my last video. Go check it out. One girl who's like 12, a little boy who actually I forgot he was there, but he's doing something on his own, kind of funny, and a grown man who's dancing, by a grown man who's like who's gay. This kid, the way they're the way they're dancing, the way they're dressed, very like is like definitely, first of all, it's inappropriate for age. She's like 12-year-old. She's dressing like in this like very like revealing outfit, but she's not. She has nothing to reveal. It's like a kid. It's funny. She's like wearing something to cover her top. Is like her top is the chest. She's very young. She's 12 years old or so, 11, 12. But she's dancing like, doing her dance and whatever. They give me this disgusting stimulation. Now, today, what they can do, they can make me experience stimulations that are so nasty toward children. And the children are children, innocent kids, just wholesome. This is not wholesome. This is not a wholesome video. The kid is doing some crazy dance that's sexual, whatever. But they can make me look at kids and experience perceptions that basically make me look at a kid like she's an adult. It's so disturbing. And so I had to like take a screenshot where there's no way they can try to transfer her in my brain as if she's an adult. They can do that so much. And finally I took a picture. I was like, okay, you can't you can't create any like adult like in this picture. Like you can't create, especially with her face. They try to kind of make her. And then at one point, the most disturbing, I didn't see that part because I immediately, the first time that happened to me, I got out of there. But at the end of this, there's this thing that she does that's like very like, she's trying to be like, she plays with her hair, trying to be like sexy, whatever. It's like, oh gosh. Now, if it was me normally, I'd be like, okay, look at this kid try to be like a grown woman. It's like she's a kid. I understand. This is not me anymore. I'm not me. I'm not myself anymore. I'm whatever they want me to experience. And so these perps, these people that are contracted, they want you to accept this. They make a noise campaign, making stimuli, kind of noise, to try to find ways to interrupt what I'm saying. Because as gaslighters, their jobs, their tasks, is to make him accept these manipulations. Make him accept that this is him. Yes, he knows. He heard the testimonials. He's gonna do that, but we're gonna make him believe this. Initially, they were making me feel. And matter of fact, the way they were making me try to look at her is something that they can transfer in a way that I can imagine a woman be. Her legs, they're trying to make her legs. This is a kid. Like it's just whatever they could. This a 12-year-old child with nothing that can. There is nothing womanly about her. She has no body that is anything resembled to of a woman. She looks 100% like a child. Her face, they try to kind of, because in some part of her face, she kind of look a little bit. She can look a little bit old in some time, and at that point they can transfer and create a perception that's bit more like a woman, but they then go back to, it's just playing my brain. But the body, oh my gosh, they're trying their best to create this like perception that is womanly about her. There's nothing womanly about her. She's wearing like a top to cover her quote unquote breast that does not have, because she's a child. They then try to work on her legs because she's like a little, still like a short little kid. So they try to make that like being like voluptuous when it's just a child, like just a little kid's legs. And then they do when she's trying to do something with her hair, it's like, oh, so disgusting. Listen, the reason why it disgusts me is because in my head, the way these piece of shits that manipulate my brain are making me see this kid in a sexual way, meaning that they're making me have reactions, almost like she's an adult, but she's not. She's obviously a child. And so they're trying their best. So when she's doing something with her hair, and she even tries to do the look like, first of all, I gotta say that this kid needs, somebody needs to kind of watch over this kid, because she's way too young to be dancing and acting this way. She's trying to literally dance and then do this thing with hair and look, and try to do like the sexy dance and looking at you, and it's like, oh my gosh, this kid. But in because I'm a target individual. The things they can do. I mean, they do this to like babies who are just sitting there being babies. And so you hear this trash. Their job is to make you accept these things. Like, trying to be like, make me acceptive of this trash. And so when you have neighbors who are trying their best to like make me accept to this, listen, I'm telling you, my death is the beginning of something for you. My death is the beginning for something. I'm telling you that the day I'm buried is the day you gotta. I don't know if they have to start a charity. I don't know if they go to they become nuns. But something is at a price. It's just too much. Because what you're gonna listen to after this is what you've heard many times. I will never identify with these manipulations. I know. And then the way they were stimulating me throughout the day, oh my gosh. One thing they want me to imagine, they want me to like release myself at some point, because what they do is they crank up my libido, and sometimes I'm like, I need to like get some release because they're gonna continue to build, and I will not do that because I know what they're trying to do. They want to kind of condition my brain. So while, let's just say I watch something, they will make this kid appear in my brain. Well, let's say I watch adult content, a man and a woman together doing something adult. They'll implant that kid in my head. They've done it so many times. It's so nasty. So this kid, oh my gosh, they're gonna do so much disturbing things with me. Last time they were doing that, the first time they did that, it was a while ago. Almost forgot about that moment. Didn't really forget about that moment, but they didn't bring that up because I don't know. I think now they're just trying to look at whatever they've done to me. Right? And it's funny that like we're farming. Yeah, you're looking for the things you've done yourself. It's like people who manipulate you. It's like, we see that. You see this? The things that they themselves did it. The things they manipulate themselves. They try to use that against you. I'm like, what? This is the disturbing things you've been doing to me. And, the mistake of saying that was disturbing, because it can always be used to torment me in this disgusting pedophilia ways. But mind you, they do that to babies who are just sitting there, being babies. So this kid that's trying to dance in this sexual way, she's even dressed in this, even though she has nothing to show, like she's a child. It's just they can still try, and then the way she's just dancing and moving and try to play with her hair is trying to get. They're trying to force me to see her like she's an adult when she's an obvious kid. If I was myself, like I said, I will see it like anybody will see it. It's like, why is this? Look at this kid. Like she's a kid dancing like an adult. She thinks she's an adult. Look at her. Who's her parents? Like it'd be like, okay, what is this? Look at her. But today I know better. I could never watch this not knowing that they will do something to me. So when they brought that up again today, I was like, with my brain, they were just trying to mess with me. I was like, okay, now. They if whatever's going to happen to me is going to happen to me. But one thing is for sure, these people who've involved themselves in this, wanting to escape. No. There's no escapism. This sounds familiar, right? To much more innocent kids who just like sitting there and not just babies. Yes, I will continuously show the patterns of what they've done. And to neighbors and this trash, these bottom feeders that tell me I'm going to live, it's like, oh my gosh. It's funny, they tell me I'm going to leave this place, a place I don't really have no attachment to. I don't care about being here. But while they were here, my gosh, the humiliation they experienced. Because you're going to watch this. The things around these pictures. You've heard it before. They force us to get pedophilia perceptions. This is something they do systematically. Almost all target individuals are forced to see child porn in their mind. You know what they're saying? Because this kid, is dancing in this sexual way, which is disturbing. They're like, oh, this is your porn. Do you realize that the reason why I saw this is because I was on this woman that you're seeing to the left. I was on her profile picture. I was on her profile on the Instagram. You see the name there. It's on her there. That's why I saw this thing. And then you guys do your nasty things. If it was even in a child that was just sitting there doing nothing, they would have done some disturbing things. The worst case is this kid was dancing and this. I was like, oh my gosh, dressed in this way. It's like, oh my gosh, they're gonna do so much disturbing things. But I will never let them escape. You know what they say they're gonna do? They're gonna dare to implant child porn on my computer. And because they're female, I won't call them women, because another woman have said literally they're not women. You're not even a woman. This female, they think that their gender makes them fierce, or because the psyop they have created makes them fierce to implant child porn. And it's a validation. They dared. Now, not only you're going to hear they do the pedophilia type of torture, but the agencies that are obviously running this program, we know who they are. They're not this woke crew and group of people. They're the intelligence community, which happen to have a bunch of pedophiles running this program. Those are the motherfuckers that will use this whatever as porn. Trash. Their delusional nastiness. Now in my mind, they're gonna try to steal every. I know one thing. The things they're gonna do to me if I ever get in a state of sexual moment, they're gonna implant this child in my head while it's happening, to make me think about this kid while I'm having. That's how nasty this trash. And you know what they say to counter that? Oh, they're gonna stab you. Listen, you're gonna hear what they do. The pedophilia type of torture, the sexual arousals aimed toward children, the forced thoughts of in these pedophilia things, the almost all target individuals experience. And then on top of that, just a cherry on top of that, that the entities who are running this program are filled with pedophiles. This is why the theater of torture I'm going to experience. They think that me being tortured, stabbed, or killed, or whatever, is validation for them. That they've proved it, that they don't do pedophilia type of torture, and this is organic. You know, initially they were saying they mapped it. You know what they were trying to do? They were making me think of me when I was this kid's age and my classmates, and make me think of girls in my class who I had crushes on when I was this kid's age, and try to put me in a state of mind when I was a child looking at kids my age, and try to create something of similarities to say, you see, we mapped it to you when you were like 12 years old or 11 years old, with seeing your friends, or not my friends, my classmates at the dances, or when we played that like you chase after a girl and you kiss her, or she slaps you. Yeah, we mapped it. Try to create something so it can feel familiar, and then give me stimulations. Like, oh, but have you ever felt like stimulations? Like, of course, like anybody else, I have felt stimulation. And it's like, you see, that's proof. You felt stimulation that time, and then if you were seeing this girl during that time, you felt the same way. We mapped it. Wherever and however I'm gonna die, I'm making these recordings as a way to express myself. This is not just something I speak out loud for this channel of mine, but it's something I hopefully It's just something it's more of like not a prayer of some sort, but something I want to say out loud in order for it to be out. So when I see these people and they try to come up with this fantasy, I will not let them escape. This is video how much? 1200 or so. I've been making videos since 2020 about the same things. The stimulation, the sensation. I've been, even before I saw this video, I was already like 20 videos in, 30 videos in, talking about the things they do to me. I was already describing what was happening to me. So, for this low life, who, you know what they say to try to agitate me? Oh, they feel so bad because the horrible things are going to happen to me. You feel so bad because of these testimonials you're going to hear. That's what makes you feel bad. You'll feel so bad for something else. No, not yet. But you feel so bad because you're going to hear target individuals and others that they do the pedophilia type of torture. That's why they feel so bad. That's what will make them feel so bad. They feel so bad because the entities running this program are filled with pedophiles. That's why they feel so bad. They feel so bad because they're in a program that push people to cause mass shootings. That's why they feel so bad. They feel so bad because they have a systematic pattern of manipulations that is pedophilia centric. That is why they feel so bad.
What is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams and videos in my.
It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophilia. This disgusting things. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing. I don't know how they do it. I don't care. I don't know if it's through weapons. I don't know. I don't care.
This is a common breakdown tactic of belief systems and the human will. In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds. And vice versa.
CIA raping children and sexually assaulting children, and they're not being prosecuted? Where are you?
The V2K. So they'll say, we're the Russian government, we're the Chinese government, we're evil aliens, we're Satan's, satanic ritual abuse. And I've heard all the stories. One guy believed it was some 14-year-old kid with an Xbox that lived next door. The trickery really is that great when you're under hypnosis that people will believe something other than a massive government could do this. And so anyway, my interview with Len, he very well described a typical breakdown script that's used on almost all the TI victims. TI stands for targeted individuals. Some of them are pretty crazy. They have names like Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz, And those are the confusion tactics. And when they're breaking down the ego of the human through all the pains and tortures and the verbal breakdown, these are typical CIA torture scripts. I mean, Kubark manual. And they do good cop, bad cop interrogation called Jeff and Mutt. And they go right through the list, right? Just textbook.
Had sexual contact with a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. He was simply fired. One employee purchased sexually explicit videos of young girls filmed by their mothers. He resigned. One employee estimated that he had viewed up to 1,400 sexually abusive images of children while on agency assignments. Not sure what actions, if any, were taken by him. One contractor
occasion, I was told I was going to be shot in the face, and it was an older guy. He was like really, really disgruntled and pissed off. Yeah, you're going to get shot in the face. You know, sound like an angry ass old person. You know, then a couple of days later, a female said the same thing. You're going to get shot in the face. You know, stupid shit like that. But what I really noticed is with the Voice to Skull, it's a bunch of females. You know, and I'm like, bro, really? You're not a woman. What real woman would stalk another female or sit back and allow that to go on? You really think they think it's nothing wrong with them, basically? You know, they call me retarded bitch and all of this here, but I was top of my class in everything that I did. You know, every class I took.
V2K, or Voice to Skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual as well.